What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back with a video. I know I've been doing a lot of videos. I said I was going to start doing them in the morning, but I overslept, and I was trying to hook up my mic and a whole bunch of other stuff, man. And then I was on the phone with Crap for about 2 hours. I had to talk him off the ledge. I got my brother here, Crap, with me. He's still speaking to me.
Off the ledge.
He's still speaking to me. But yeah, we're gonna have a good show today. So we'll talk about a few things. Think what Phil answered Ryan McCaffrey on Twitter. That we talk about that, and just overall, the state of the Xbox. How do you feel about it? You know what I mean? And like I say, at the end of the day, you know what I mean. But yeah, I just want to say a lot of people get caught up in the theatrics or the character or whoever, Crap or
it's fine, man. It's like
you know what I mean?
yeah, that's all funny to me, like I think it's funny, and I have a good time with it. There's a lot of people that don't take it too far, and I'm cool with that. And then some people do take it too far, and then those are the ones that you block or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, it's just about gaming, and that's supposed to be fun, and I have a good time with that.
All right. What's up, Crap? I met you in 2013 or 2014.
Yeah, man. I did a video about I was buying an Xbox One instead of a PS4, and it was basically the games, and I got a lot of blowback for that. Like I wasn't even prepared for that, and it was just basically all came down to the game, man. I saw Killer Instinct, man, and when I heard that voice at E3, and because you got to remember, man, at the time I'm just doing these cheesy little review videos for the people that I game with because I get every game. And they're like, can you do some reviews for us and put them up on the site so we can see which ones we can get? And I was like, sure. And so I started doing that. And then I just did a video. Hey, man, I'm going to get an Xbox One, and here's why. And it was like, dude, Titanfall looked great. Forza, I'm a huge fan. Dead Rising 3 looked phenomenal.
They did show Titanfall at E3, right?
Yeah, they did. Rise looked amazing. Sunset Overdrive, we got a trailer for that. We saw the Halo Master Chief Collection, the Halo thing at the end. Like, we saw Quantum Break. Like, how could you not be excited about Xbox One? And then on the Sony side, it was like they showed Knack and Killzone, which I hate that franchise. They showed another Infamous, which I didn't even get around to finishing the first two. Like, I played them for a while, but they weren't my thing. Like, I didn't see any reason to get a PS4 at the time. Like, I didn't care about like the resolution and stuff like that. Like, to me, what I saw when I saw Rise up on that screen, that was something. That was next generation. That was the first game that I played, man. When I got my Xbox One at midnight, I popped Rise in. I played that game, almost beat it like that first night. It was
Rise?
I just kept. I couldn't stop, man.
Yeah, the first game I think I played was either Killer Instinct or Rise.
I had to download Killer Instinct, so that took a while. I played Rise while I was waiting for Killer Instinct to download. But yeah, man, and I was having so much fun with that, and it wasn't until like the Uncharted 4 stuff started cropping up that I was like, hey, man, I'll get me a PS4 for that, And I think it's a fine console, and I think, one or two, for me personally, 1 or 2 games a year come out that really kind of pique my interest on that. And I'll play it, man. I play mostly multiplayer stuff, man. I got 70 hours in Sea of Thieves, 150 hours in PUBG, like that's just the type of gamer I am. So naturally, if you like online, you're probably going to gravitate more towards Xbox. And so that's what I do. Like single player is okay. I enjoy that stuff from time to time, but I guess it just kind of gets boring a little bit.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question. Okay, all right. Now, there have been I don't know. I would say the minority, or there have been a lot of Xbox fans have been very disgruntled. I know I've noticed it last 2 weeks since I've been out there cutting up, right? And Crap, we've talked numerous times, and I've always said, like, I felt like Microsoft has kind of lost their identity. They don't know what their core wants anymore. That what made you what you call the Xbox, the behemoth. What got
they did. I mean, they definitely changed their idea and directions along the way for sure.
You know what I mean? I did a video, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, right? And I did you share your screen or whatever, and I went to Microsoft page, right? Because someone sent me a link just to be funny with the Lucky Tail stuff, and I'm looking at I'm saying here it is, they have 2.5 million subscribers, right?
Yeah.
And I'm averaging more views than they are with the stuff they put out that week, and I was saying, like, because they first said, next gen, you're how you say, the casuals far outweigh us. I understand that, or even or even the hardcore. You know what I mean, or whatever that that buy everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not even watching this. So I'm looking back and I'm sitting because again, and I'll go back. And I'm not going to dwell too much on the Lucky Tail stuff, but what made that look so bad, in my opinion, is because for the last, we're going to say 2 years. For the last 2 years, that's all that we had, and we didn't get anything else. And you know what I mean. So like like I said, what they say, they're gonna have a diverse lineup, which is cool.
Yeah.
But what about the guys like me? You know what I mean? None of that stuff there appealed to me. And I've been with this has been my primary platform for 17 years.
Yeah.
So even like I said, me and Tim, and shout out to Tim Doe too, we didn't have conversations behind, some things we talk about. And you said, you said something, I think it was either BGST, was the last week before you said, if they don't show something, or say E3, they're going to start to lose guys like me. They're already losing guys like Zaire. Like, how did we get here? Because I'm still sitting back scratching my head, crap. Like, God damn. Like, how did they get here?
And I think it's weird because when people are like, hey, they might lose guys, like, I don't know if that's really accurate. Okay, because if you have an Xbox One X and you have a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, you're going to play God of War and you're going to play Spider-Man. Okay. But why on earth would you just give up your X and play everything on PlayStation? Like, everything's so much better right now on Xbox One. The controller, the online, the system, the games, everything looks and just is so much smoother, So, like, I just kind of call BS on that. I get that some people are wanting more, and it's always good to want more from these companies, man. I'm all for that, man. Ask these companies, like, in a respectful way, Twitter, however you got to do it, man. Just be like, hey, man, look, I would the Don, shout out to that guy. He messaged Phil on Twitter, like, one of the most respectful ways I've ever seen about mature type exclusives, man. And I think that's the proper way to go about it. Like, I have a feeling that they know what's going on, and if you look at Phil's response, and I would ask you this, Zaire, when Phil says that hold on, I have it right here. When he says our hardware took time, our service platform backwards compatibility took time, and continue to grow, our first party will take time. Now he says we wanted to fix our hardware problem, our services, the back end and stuff like that. Did he do that?
I mean, here's the thing, right?
Well, no, I mean, I was just curious. Like,
I mean, you said the hardware problem.
Yeah.
If to even say that there is there was a hardware problem, to me, it's like kind of like admitting defeat. I mean, your console was weaker than the PS4. I mean, it is what your 360 was weaker than the PS3.
Kinda. I mean, the split RAM kind of even things out. So okay, I mean,
we want to look at it like this then. So like even like I said, get the hardware.
But I mean, since Phil took over, right? Not even counting the original Xbox One stuff, right? Because that's like that was more of a metric thing. You have the Connect where you're like, oh, you can't take it out of the box.
I'm gonna ask you a question before you go to them. So all right, I'm gonna look at it like this, right? The tale of two tales, right? Because again, and I'm gonna be honest here. A lot of guys said, well, you know what? Well, Phil had to take care of the power problem before they can work about the games. But again, that was green lighted in 2012. But I say this again. Here's the thing, because Sony did the same thing you did. You guys came out with a Slim. Sony came out with a Slim. Sony came out with a Pro. You guys came out with the X. But they're still, or giving, and like I said, doing second party deals with the knee holes and stuff like that, and giving their core. I mean, who buys it? I'm not going to talk about no sales and what you like and what I like, what they want and what they're happy about. That we have not gotten that here. I mean, that's been.
Well, I mean, I think that's relative, but I just do want to kind of get your opinion on what I asked though. Like, do you think Phil Spencer fixed the hardware problem and like the back stuff with Xbox Live, right? Like, he's a man of his word with that. He said, hey, went out there, we fixed the hardware problem. There's no more since 2016. There's not been a word about resolution. Like he literally went out and did.
Okay, but I want to attribute the X to the Phil because that was paid for in 2012.
Well, you look at it, but it's his idea, though. I mean, both that and the S were both his thing. They were like his babies. So I mean, that stuff. Okay. I'm just saying, like the amount of time and the effort to come out there and come out with the best, they have the best console, they have the best online, and he's saying we're going to take that same effort and put it into our first party content. So why wouldn't you believe the man? Like that's what I would say. Like if somebody's impatient, then hey, then be impatient. I get that, right? Okay. But what I see with some Xbox fans is people wanting not a God of War like game. They just are jealous, or they want God of War on Xbox, and that's just not going to happen. You know, it's like it's okay to be an Xbox guy, but also own a PlayStation and play some of these games on PlayStation too. Okay. That's fine.
I'm gonna give you my perspective. I mean, personally, I don't want God of War on the Xbox. I don't want Mario on the Xbox, right? When I say, you know, like I want to clarify, because people like to be chinky into my words, okay? How you say games that push the hardware graphically that are top notch, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, the Xbox been in the console, well, Microsoft been in the console business now for 17 years. They're not like, this is not their first dance around. It's not their second. This is their third. Just think about this, Scrap, and maybe because it's the issue.
Heck of a comeback, though. Heck of a comeback from what they faced early on, man. I gotta say,
what we're going to get in 2018, right?
Yeah,
what we're supposed to got in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again,
that's on them, man. That's a really lackluster. That's part on their fault. You know what I mean? That first party, really struggling, man. Really struggled right there.
Yeah, it is. And again, like I said, and shout out to Mighty Moss, what made the 360 so great, you know, and I didn't think about this is that in between your Halo and the time Fable and Forza, they had all these great second party deals, the Mass Effects, even Gears of War, and you know, I mean, Ninja Gaiden, you know, Blue Dragon, you know, all these other games. That right there, that's been totally absent this generation. You know what I mean? So when you know you see how you get IP fatigue, or you know, it's just like that. Oh, another Gears, another Forza, another Halo, and we're not getting anything really great in between.
Yeah,
you know?
There's been like I've been on record as saying there's been a very lackluster in terms of games that you could just sit down and kind of enjoy this generation to begin with, in my opinion, right? Like, it's not just an Xbox thing; it's just a gaming thing in general, right? Like, for my opinion, there's very few what I would be considered great games this generation. And I'm not sure exactly why. If you do look at last gen, man, it's like I just remember the games that we had. Man, it was like we had the Saints Row and Mass Effect was new, and now the Mass Effect that we got this gen was kind of crummy, and the Dragon Age we got this gen was trying to crummy. And you know what I mean? It's like the stuff isn't as good. We had a lot of really good games last gen, a lot of good IPs. We used to have NCAA football and a couple different baseball game options, and now it's nowhere near that. And it's not, I think it's like an industry wide thing. I don't know if it's just an Xbox thing, but I think as far as the industry goes, the whole thing is kind of suffering. And even games that you're maybe supposed to like Far Cry 5, that game looks amazing on the Xbox One X.
Right? I'm gonna play tonight. I haven't played it yet.
It's like, look, it looks amazing, but it's like it's boring for me. You know, Hellblade, that game might have some of the best graphics I've ever seen, and it's a nice mature title.
I didn't really care for it. Can try it again.
Looking puzzles. See, I have it on PS4, right? And I didn't like it there, but I was like, I'll try it again on Xbox One, you know, and maybe I'll enjoy it more, because you know, if you're an Xbox dude, you sometimes like stuff better. But this was a case where even it being on my preferred platform didn't help it. Like the going around and backtracking for looking puzzles just isn't my thing. So I think it's an interesting game and an interesting concept, and I'm glad that they're bringing awareness to kind of mental illness and stuff. So kudos to them for that. But it's just not my type of game. I think it looks phenomenal though, and it does show that a indie team can do phenomenal graphics. So I mean, it looks great.
Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you this. I'm not gonna keep you here too long. Let me ask you this, right? Of course, like I said, this year, and I don't want to because what Sony's doing, right? But just the direction, because again, a couple of things. Of course, you hear things behind the scene. I've heard things. When I say they don't have my best interest at hand, you know what I mean? I know it's much bigger than me, you know what I mean? And this goes back, and it's crazy. Shout out to Warrior. Me and Warrior had this, I think, conversation like in 2015 about, before they went to talk about some games as a service. And I asked Phil, I mean, I don't want to see my preferred platform become a service, right? And then again, right, we look at with the Nintendo Switch, getting some parts of Xbox Live. It's like there's nothing exclusive to this platform anymore. I mean, and again, check out Xbox Live made me a diehard Xbox fan, right? Online, talking to my friends, blew my mind, right? But they seem like they stripped everything from this console that I grew to love. You know what I mean? And they're putting it everywhere. You know what I mean? Like now we're talking about Xbox Live on the Switch. Like, what is the end game here? Like, what is the goddamn end game? Like I said before, to me,
they want their games on whatever can take them. Like, it's not going to be a Sony because Sony doesn't want their games, and they're not going to be just a third party because they don't have enough. They don't have enough exclusive to do that. People got to remember that, right? That you come out with 2, 3, 4 games a year. That's not enough to really support going multi-platform, multi-plat. Oh, it's not that they're not going that direction. I think they're just going a direction to where anything you want to play Xbox games on that will allow it, you can, which, that was always my gripe with it too, right? Like, be a master of one thing before you go and try to be a master of other things. It's like they dip their hands in all this stuff. And sometimes it's like, okay, well, why are you trying to do this if you're not even getting this right yet? So like if you got kind of a bone to pick, I agree with that, like, and I've talked to Phil, I'm like, this kind of play anywhere stuff, that was never my bag.
Yeah.
The crossplay on Sea of Thieves, man, I've run into cheaters on that. Like they're running hacks. You can't turn off the crossplay with PC. So I brought these issues up. There's obviously some things they got to work on there. This E3 is important, very important, and I think that it's going to go a long way in deciding what a lot of people want to do. And we'll have to see. We'll just have to see how it goes, because I do feel like that they believe that Game Pass is the future. But Z, for Game Pass to be the future, what do they need in there, man? Constant flow of games, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they need a constant flow of games, and that's hopefully where a lot of these deals and stuff come into play. I really, really hope that they have some awesome deals. They talk to Sega and they talk to Capcom, and they're talking to
Shenmue's coming.
Yeah. I've heard that they've got some nice announcements, but I've also heard that it's not going to please everybody, quote unquote.
But so, okay. Now I've heard the same things, right? So, all right, let me ask you. Okay. Because right now I want to say this one thing, and I want to ask you 2 questions before I let you go. Right. Yeah. Right. Like I say, I did a video live yesterday. Right. You know what I mean? Look, one day, they have 2.5 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Like I honestly feel like this platform is becoming a graveyard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. This is what they're betting their future on. Lucky Tales, only 8,000 views.
Well, I mean, like, I wouldn't.
Look at this one, 900 views. Crap.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't necessarily say, that because they have some low views 900 and stuff. Views.
Yeah, because so what I'm saying is that the reason why I'm even going to their page, because I said something that they don't know. They forgot what their core wants. You know what I'm saying?
I would say if you're like a core gamer, then I would suggest
the Xbox guys. You know what I mean?
The core Xbox guys. Then message the guys and let them know what's going on. Like, if you're unhappy, then I think you have every right to kind of express that in a proper way. Because I think that nowadays everybody's just too quick with, let's threaten this person, or let's do this, or let's do that.
Threaten them,
yeah, let's just, let's just try, try to have a roundtable, get these people, let them know, hey man, we're really looking for some more mature content.
But here's the thing though, Crap. But how? Listen, I get it. But how the fuck did we get here? This is like the Nintendo Switch 2.5.
Well, I think what happened was,
we get here? I don't understand it. Like, I'm still like almost like I'm in a Twilight Zone. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm waking up like, huh? What? You know what I mean?
I kind of think what happened was a lot of it had to do with their lack of budget and stuff like that, and some of the higher ups. And I am the firm belief that Xbox was hanging by a thread at one particular point. And Phil was the one that was like, and maybe him saving Xbox is an Xbox that we don't know or care to know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that's going to work out. Like, for me right now, in this moment that I'm in, I like Sea of Thieves. I like PUBG. I love State of Decay. That's coming out next month. This is a Forza Horizon year. I'm excited about that. You've got Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm playing through Red Dead for the first time. Literally, I mean, I put a couple hours into it on the 360, but I wasn't like I was Alan Wake at that time, so that was in my backlog. I'm playing that for the first time right now in native 4K. You can't even play that on PC, right? I'm playing it the absolute best way you can in between the other things that I'm kind of playing. And it's cool to be able to hop back and do these kind of things. So I like a lot of what Microsoft's doing. I do wish that they would say, hey, remember that Shanghai trailer?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I wish they would show something like that. Just get people excited, right? Like, I think something as simple as that, or say, hey, we bought Playground Games and we opened up 2 new studios. Saying that doesn't tip your hand as to what game you're making, and it gets people excited. And I think that they can do that, and I think they actually will do some of that stuff. So,
thank you, Lucifer, for the $2. Said, what's going on, Crap?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah, okay. Okay. And also, Emerald 14. How can you praise Rise but not like God of War? I don't think. Crap. You had a problem with God of War? Or no?
Do I?
Yeah, no. I think that's Kate Mega. That's Kate Mega with the.
Oh, what are you doing? You guys are mixing me up, man. Look, here's the thing. Crapgamer's 2 favorite PlayStation franchises are God of War and Uncharted. Right? Uncharted 2 was probably my favorite game of last generation. God of War 3 was probably a top 5 of last generation. I love that franchise. I have the collector's edition pre-ordered, coming in the 20th. Man, I am super excited for this game. I absolutely am thrilled. K-Mega is the one that doesn't like it, man. I'm excited. I have that and the Spider-Man one pre-ordered already.
All right, okay. So let me ask you. Okay, Master, I'm gonna ask you 2 questions for you. I'll let you tell them. I think you're busy. All right. When it comes down, let me ask you your opinion. I know you prefer the Xbox because of Xbox. Your friends there. Cool. Yeah. I get it.
Controller, all that stuff.
Okay. Is it just the fact that is Sony better at the console business than Microsoft?
Oh, Sony is. Look, I don't make any excuses about it. Sony won the next generation too. You know, like it's over.
I mean, again, like I just miss the days. I just feel like of them competing.
And like, you know what? I get that too, man. As like a football fan and like a sports fan, I do wish that they would compete. Because Sony looks at them as competitors, but for some reason Microsoft doesn't. So, you know, I really enjoy that kind of aspect of it. And I wish they would kind of, you know, bring that little fight back, you know, because last year I remember I saw this tweet floating around from Mike Ibarra was like, I'm getting a lot of hate from PlayStation fans over the Xbox Scorpio announcement. Thank goodness for the mute button. You know, I mean, those little type things are you know, just like little digs. Or Greenberg, you know, Greenberg really wants to kind of get into some of that stuff, but just Phil doesn't like it, you know. And
okay, but even with the backlash, because I don't know why they keep doing it. Hey, congratulations for releasing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like what? We see, like, again, I said that all of their wounds. To me, a lot of their wounds have been self-inflicted this generation. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I think
why do you keep doing it? Like, what's old boy named Jeff? What's his name? Jeff, the guy, the original guy from God of War. One of Mike. They were talking back and forth on Twitter. Him. He said, you know, he goes out to dinner, and they probably do congratulate each other behind the scenes. I'm not saying if Sony, you know what I mean, if they do, but you released how many goddamn games? Like, you know, Sea of Thieves, and well, whatever, Lucky Tales, whatever, right? You ain't get not one tweet from nobody on the Sony side saying, hey, congratulations. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm a Ray poor man. I would give $3 to anybody via PayPal. You can, they got a congratulations from Atari.
I will say that the Naughty Dog guys tweeted out pictures of them playing Gears of War 4.
I mean, okay. I mean, it's like enough is a goddamn no. Right,
you know, here's the thing. Phil's a nice guy, right? Like, and that's how he gets. He doesn't like. I think that he doesn't realize that some people, when you do that, almost to me is like admitting defeat or whatever, right? It's like you want to know, hey,
it's like he's a beta male. Like you, again, Phil's been in this business a long time, right? A long time. You can't tell me that he has his head up in this cloud and be doing practicing yoga. That he doesn't. They pay attention to what's going on. Yeah, they do. They have
well, you know what? Yeah, for sure. People People message them. People, it's like that's they're very aware of what's going on, thankfully. But I'll be interested to see how the reactions go towards E3.
Now, what if they don't bring it to E3? Here's the thing:
if they don't bring it to E3, then I think that you probably will have a lot of people very upset. Again, it's a situation where like people will go, well, crap, are you gonna switch to PlayStation 4? I mean, those days aren't gonna happen. Why would I switch to an inferior product? And you know what I'm saying? To play my multiplats with a lot of games that I'm looking forward to, when I'm still gonna get a lot of games that I like. I'm a big Horizon fan. I'm a big, State of Decay 2 is something I'm gonna really enjoy.
Okay, here's the thing, right? This is what I said, right? I'm always gonna own multiple consoles, right? This is where I'm at, honestly.
If they drop the ball, Z, I don't blame anyone for ditching them, though. That's what I will say. I don't blame anyone.
I'm not trading anything because there are some games that I do want to play on the Xbox side. But as far as that being my primary console, you know what I mean, like going forward, if again this little things, well, I'm like honest with Xbox Live on the Nintendo's, that stuff just rubs me the wrong way. Like if this is the end game. You know what I mean? And you talking about something again, I didn't spend over probably about $2,400 on hardware alone. I'm not talking about controllers. I'm talking about different consoles and collector's editions and
hey, I bought 3, and then I also have 10 controllers and an elite controller and like 600 games. Like I'm with you, man. So it's for me, it's like when I was Xbox, when the original Xbox was weaker, I still played it because, like I said, I'm mostly a multiplayer guy. So why would I play on inferior PSN with an inferior controller? So to me, it's a lot more than just, that kind of stuff. Like the resolution stuff is good for shits and giggles, but at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't matter. Like the better graphics are cool. Like here's the thing, 900p to 1080p, not a big deal. But when you add 4K textures versus non-4K textures, big deal. So yeah, like for me, it's realistically all about, my friends are there. I got like 150,000 gamer score or whatever it is. That's where I like to play. You know what I mean? It's like,
hold on one second. Biggie 2316. He said I own both consoles, so when one is in a drought, I have the other to get me through. Now, when you say in PlayStation Live, PSN. I mean, what is it called?
PlayStation Network, PSN.
Yeah. It's inferior to Xbox Live. I mean, you got party chats, you got trophies. You get to play online, the fundamentals, you know what I mean, more or less.
Yeah, I'm not real big on the trophies as much. It's like, to me, when you do something and you get like 100 gamer score, right? That's something. Or when you do something and you get 1 trophy, like, like I would much rather get the 100 gamer score. I don't know. It just seems. And also, I got to be honest, man. I like the fact that I can hop on something old school like 360 and get some easy chivos there as well. Just I enjoy it. My friends are there. It's just where I prefer to play, It's
a question for you then. All right, what about this? This last question, okay, and I got you off the hot seat, right?
Yeah.
So now next year, now say they come out again, E3, messaging is still unclear, and I think, and I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of the problems, or again, I don't know. I always say I would hate to think that it's not the color of my skin, but maybe the context of my character, but things that I've been asking for a while. And I always said it's not a problem showing what you have to come out. It gets people excited, gets people talking.
Yeah,
it's not about games getting pushed back, delayed. That's just the nature of the business. We had a couple major cancellations on our side, whether you like Fable Legends or Scalebound, whatever, and didn't have anything to take those plays. So that's like missing your 2 front teeth in the mouth. You know what I mean? Nothing else to go around it, right?
Yeah.
So if we got E3 and the messaging is still unclear, right? Where they go? Because they say we hear you guys. Because again, when they come, what blows my mind, they say they hear us, right? And they give us that first goddamn inside of Xbox. They hear you got Sony.
They fixed it up the second one, in my opinion.
I mean, a little better. I'm not really into them old ass games, but and again, I know it's bigger than me. But kudos for those that like it, right? But check it out, right?
Fire up Red Dead if you can, man. If you never played that, dude, you might like
it.
I
said I was gonna get into it, but I got so much shit, bro. I'm about to get into Yakuza 6 up crap. I'm about to get my black Jap on. But check this shit out, right? Silly as hell. I'm serious, bro. So check it out, right?
I never played it, man. You can get one of your ponies to donate it to me.
Yeah, I'm live streaming it all. I'm gonna get the pro, next week. But check it out, right? So
you don't even have it.
I don't have nothing. All that shit comes in next week. But if the messaging is still unclear, you know what I mean? Like, as far as the roadmap, where they're going, what is the end game? You know what I mean? Then again, even next generation, like, I don't know who's going to be the most powerful, whatever. That if I feel this platform, again, you know, doesn't have what suits me in my best interest, you know, then I have no other choice. Maybe it's a totally fault. Here, this is all that Sony has, and this what pays the bills, right? Look at this crap. Look at it from like this. You had one company barely had enough money for lunch to catch the bus to fucking work at the start of this generation. They were selling buildings, all types of shit, right? How in the hell did they just come back and just all type VR, Slim, Pro, exclusives out of the ass?
It took them a few years, man. And then I think what really helped them was the fact that the PS4 took off like a rocket. You know, like people really went to that based on, you know, a lot of the fear mongering and stuff. Like Microsoft wants to take your used games, and Microsoft wants you to always be online, and here's how you share a game. Like they really did a good job of capitalizing on that fear mongering. And what Microsoft has been able to do since then is show people that they are very much consumer friendly, you know, the stuff that they're doing. And you know what's funny is I've been capturing footage from my PS3, which was a pain in the butt because that has HTCP support, which means there's no way to capture HDMI on that. So I figured out a workaround where you can use one specific HDMI splitter that will kind of supplant that. So I was capturing some stuff like PlayStation Battle All-Stars, Battle Royale, Mod Nation Racers, Little Big Planet Karting, Starhawk, Resistance, Motorstorm, some really good games, right? And I play them, and I check the comments lately, and people are like, man, I missed that game. Like people, even though they're like, hey man, I wouldn't want to play those old games, I think people would really like to. And I think that's a big thing that Microsoft does. And I want to point out that them doing backwards compatibility, that team is a totally different team than is working on these other games, right? So it's just an added thing. Like they could not do anything. And I think that would suck. So I do like the fact that they're giving us new stuff, and they gave us a console that plays every single game better. You know, I think that's awesome. And I also like the fact that I wish they were a little bit more transparent with the games, but I do think that we're going to get Fable announced at E3 and some other surprises. So I'm very excited. You're a Fable fan. I'm a Fable fan.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that they're, like I said, I think a few BGSTs ago, I think their goal is to go, hey, we're launching our next Xbox, the next generation Xbox in 2020, right along the same time as the PlayStation 5. And if you pay $10 for Game Pass, you're playing the Gears of War 5, Fable, Forza Motorsport, whatever else they have lined up for that launch, because supposedly they're going all out for that launch. I mean, that's not saying they're not going to have stuff in between, because word is Halo's coming out next year, which would be prior to the launch. But if you could get all those games and play them day one on your next Xbox for $10, I think that gives them an advantage over the PlayStation 4, don't you think? Because PlayStation traditionally, right, blows their load at the end of the generation, right? So if they come out with a PlayStation 5 in 2020 and their game is Knack 3, right, because Ghosts of whatever that is coming out, supposedly that's their last hurrah on the PS4. Last of Us 2 next year, Death Stranding next year, Days Gone next year. Those are their big, and then what do you have after that, dude? That's what I'm saying. Like whenever Sony starts a generation,
I know
they always start off very slow.
Here's the thing, though. But I've learned, like I said, I'm not betting against Black. I do.
Sony will probably win.
Yeah,
but
I'm just talking about. I'm not counting.
Have a much better lineup at the launch.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm not counting them. I don't know what maybe those games because I've also heard rumors of them being cross, like whether the Ghost team being both.
If you look at the latest PlayStation 5 rumor, it's no forward compatibility. So these games on the PS5 are only playable on PS5.
Oh, well, maybe might be two versions. Like, you know, you have one for the 360.
There might be, but I think that also helps out Sony in a way, being that a lot of people will just drop what they have now to get the quote unquote next generation thing, right? People do that. Like for a mid-gen refresh, maybe not so much, but for a next generation, they will. Now, where Microsoft will maybe differ, they might go, yeah, you can buy our next-gen Xbox and play that Fable and Gears and all this stuff, or you could just play it on your X. You know, like that would maybe be a mistake in my opinion. I feel like they have to press restart and start over just with the PS5. Almost same date. Release them at the same time. About the same price, about the same power, but with a much better launch lineup, Game Pass, backwards compatibility with Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One. You got Xbox Live, an Elite Controller 2.0, Play Anywhere, game preview program. You do that, and you're offering. That's what they're kind of setting themselves up to have all this great stuff that Sony doesn't have. And I think that's really the payoff is the start of next gen. Not that they're going to not have anything the rest of this gen, but I think the payoff will be going balls to the wall to start off next gen.
Okay, well, I'm last thing I'm gonna say. Even so much that, right? You have some. No, I mean, we are what you call again like the diehards going to own everything, right? But even saying that's wait off the next generation. You got again a lot of people just got their X or maybe been how you say diehard guys this generation. I've also said I'm on the record saying that even though the original Xbox got its teeth kicked in by the PS2. I had more faith in the product then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again,
it was really marketed towards hardcore gamers, to be honest with you. It was a different culture. It's like I'm a wrestling fan. You know this, and if you look back to the early 2000s, it's called the Attitude Era, where everybody, Stone Cold beers and flipping people off, and you can't do that anymore. People get offended. So I think that it all has to do with the culture at Microsoft, and some people are going to like that, but some people can't. But at the end of the day, that's just the way the world is right now. People are so offended by everything. You got to be careful.
I'm banned. Listen, if you guys ask, I'm banned on Twitter for a week. The Diabetic Association got me. Listen, you guys, do me a favor, tweet this out. I listen. If you're looking to interact with me on Twitter, I can see it. I can DM, but I can't do no retweets and anything. So do me a favor, please, and retweet it out. Whatever I can't. If somebody asks, but I'm not ignoring nobody. I'm in Facebook. I'm sorry. I'm in Twitter jail for a week. All right, so you know what I mean. But again, the last thing, so before we get the hell about here, crap. First of all, thank you for coming by.
Oh, no problem, man. I watch your stuff. It's funny to see like the, you know what I mean, like the Kraken's lacking and all that stuff.
Yeah. They want to ask you, how do you feel about the Kraken was lacking, crap?
Dude, I thought that was funny, dude.
No, not the fun. I'm talking about the actual.
Oh, the actual. You know what? I never. I didn't see it under the water. I've ran into it 3 or 4 times, and it was scary the first time. Like it's creepy, and it's it was just a lot of fun. I didn't really notice. Like I didn't get in the water.
The fact that it doesn't have a body, like you're making this game for 4 goddamn years. You get 3 fresh quests. Like I mean, I don't know.
Like I don't know. Like I'm not sure. But did you see the content update that they had for it? It looks like they got a lot of stuff coming out. So. Team up with other crews and weekly events and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. I think, I
heard, how many sales wise? I heard it did about 300,000 or something.
Sales wise, yeah. I don't know, man. I know it sold a lot. That's what according to them, and it's still top 3 in the UK charts after 3-4 weeks. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I think that's pretty indicative, especially with sales with Game Pass. And then we got State of Decay 2, which I think looks really good.
State of Decay, I'm interested. Like I said, State of Decay. But crap, like I said, man, you're a better man than me. I've taken my talents to the other side of the street, and
look, I'm playing. Guess what, man? I'm playing God of War and Spider-Man 2, man. But what else on the PlayStation side are you looking forward to this year, man?
Listen, they just put me on Yakuza 0, and then listen.
Oh, gotcha, man.
Yakuza 6. Shit. What else, man? What else?
Hey, next. You got to play. I'm sure they'll have you playing some Gravity Rush, man. Listen,
I'm a broad at my horizons.
Yes, you should, man. Absolutely. Yeah. I tried Gravity Rush. Hey, that ain't for me.
I'm a broad at my horizons.
Hey, God bless, man. Like for me personally, man, I play the games that I want. I'm looking forward to some Nintendo stuff this year. God of War and Spider-Man. I obviously have Dead Rising. I have that collector's edition without the damn game in it coming. I'm Forza Horizon 4 is this year. I'm hoping against hope that Crackdown's gonna show up and be good. So other than that, man, I'm excited for the Red Dead 2s and Call of Duty Black Ops and Battlefield and all that good stuff.
Well, he said, yeah. Listen, I've seen some Yakuzas. I don't want to be reading no subtitle. I need some English talking. Give me the ones that are. Give me a list right now. I'm gonna order them right now on Amazon. I got a few in my cart.
You should be happy though, man. That what do you call it? Freaking Shenmue 1 and 2 are coming to Xbox.
Yeah, old school, man. Old school.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold up. One comment. Here we go. You said, wait. I'm sorry. I'm trying to play crap. You said Griffin game. We said crap kept it honest. Just like okay. I'm sorry. For my last question. I promise. Last one. Is there anything that Microsoft can do that would just have you like you're just done?
I think if they, you know, that where I would be done. Like some of that rumors with, with the how they're doing like people on Xbox Live and stuff like that. If they started just like,
or banning people for cursing,
yeah, and that kind of stuff, I think at that point there's a positive. It wouldn't be anything game related because there's, most of us play multiplats 99% of the time. So like mostly game related, nah, probably not. But if they started doing something like that, or because
what if all of their exclusives were Lucky Tellish? You know what I mean, like along that line.
Well, I mean, I would still play my multiplats there. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't play but it's like I'm never gonna, as long as they have Xbox Live and it's superior and the controller and things like that. I think that's where my multiplats will be. Even if they had a console that was less powerful and Xbox Live was still better, then to me that's where I'd play my multiplats. So I believe that they'll probably keep the Power Crown next generation as well. Phil said that he doesn't see a future where they don't. So you'll have the Power, Xbox Live, controller, all that. I can play all my games forward, backwards. Dude, like, you got to admit, man, even if you're not into the old games, the fact that they're enhancing these games at 4K, like, and for free, that's awesome, dude. Go back and play Gears 2, man. Look at that game. It's really wizard stuff, man. Like, incredible stuff. I mean, like, that was the first Gears game that I played online, like, religiously. It's amazing. Some of those maps and those modes, and there's still people on there playing, like thousands. So, it's like a good mix of everything, man. I've been playing the hell out of, PUBG and Sea of Thieves and stuff, man. I'm excited about what's coming. And if E3 disappoints, I'll say it disappointed, but I don't really foresee a time when I'm not going to prefer Xbox just because the X is out right now. And for the foreseeable future, the now and the immediate future, it's the most powerful console and Live is superior. I can't even change my name on PSN yet. Like 2018, folks.
I know, crap. We got all the power in the world, crap, but our goddamn games look like they can run.
Dude, and you have every right to feel that way, man. Respect for that, man. I'll never knock anybody for feeling that way. Hey, I would never knock a PlayStation fan if I never hear them complain about anything. But if one did say, hey, I'm paying for PlayStation Plus, I would love a unique PlayStation multiplayer game. Like I said, man, I was playing through some Resistance 2, Resistance 3, Warhawk. You guys remember those games, right? Sony used to put out some multiplayer games, folks. They don't anymore, but you don't hear anybody complain about it because why? They'll go, you know what, crap? Third parties take care of that good for us, And then when I go, well, don't third parties take care of, some of that single player stuff too, right? Then they shut up.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank my are we friends again, crap? I'll call you my friend.
Dude, oh come on, man. Right. Everybody's got to realize that the only reason why I haven't been on BGST till the end of the month was because somebody paid money.
Oh shit! Man, shout out to Crap, man. Now listen, I think Crap for swinging by. You know what I mean?
Always fun, man. Always fun.
Always, regardless of whatever platform he chooses in the future, or maybe I'll take my talents across the street. We're gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Listen, Monday, guys. Monday, I have supposedly Mooch. We're gonna be here at 8 o'clock. Doing the one-on-one. I'm gonna ask most of the same questions, man. Someone says next gen we used to follow each other. I'm banned on Twitter, bro. You said we used to follow each other. They ain't following me no more. Are you able to come on my show? Yeah, you know what I mean. Shout out to Griffin Game. Crap, is Sea of Thieves actually a game of the generation?
Good. Like for me personally, like it's something that new. It's something that I really enjoy. It's something that you can only probably really enjoy for me with friends. Like playing it solo is not fun, but just last night we streamed it for 3 hours, me, Mooch, and my buddy Grave, and I think Xbot. And it's just like what you make of it, and I think that's the fun part of it, Like everybody's drinking, dude. We're drinking on the stream and goofing off. We were singing I'm on a boat, It's like, dude, it's just like it's fun, you do it. And that's, to me, that's what gaming is all about, man. I like the social aspects of it,
Okay. All right, my man Crap, he's very social. He's now, what's that? Scientology? You're practicing now?
I don't know, man.
But nah, thank you, Crap, for swinging by, man.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate it, man. Good. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Everybody in the chat, man. You guys have a good night, man.
Yeah, thank you. You guys do me a favor again. Retweet this out for me. I'm banned on Twitter. The Diabetic Association got me. I'll be back in a week. Thank you.